Hello friends, welcome back to part 13 of my Tesla earnings forecast video review series. I'm joined by my co-host Loki, who waited until I was done recording part 12, and I called my mom to wish her a happy Mother's Day to eat his breakfast. So he has eaten. He just finished eating his breakfast while I was on the phone with my mom, so that's why you don't get... I told her. She watches my channel. She sees Loki eat breakfast. She loves Loki. I told her she wasn't going to be able to see him eat breakfast because he was doing it while I was on the phone talking to her. So, in part 13, I'll go ahead and share Loki's bed cam even though Loki's here with me and not in his bed. Then I'll go to my share desktop and show you what I've got up here, which is unrelated to part 13 for now. It'll become clear in a moment what's going on here. So I just sent out this tweet. Less than 3 years ago, Tesla Q ringleader Tesla Charts sent this tweet. The 69 of you not blocked by him can follow this link and see that the tweet is still up on July 23rd, 2020. TC said, a few charts on Tesla's quarter. I'll leave the obvious shenanigans around accounts receivable to others. We begin with overall revenue. In a post-truth world, this is growth, Tesla Q. So at the time, there had been a couple of good quarters in the latter half of 2018. And then 2019 was a pretty tough year. This was homologation, trying to ship Model 3 to Europe, etc. A lot of performance Model 3s got sold here in Q3 and Q4. And then in 2019, standard range Model 3s got sold to fill the backlog at a lower ASP. So even though more units were being sold, the revenue wasn't going up by a lot. And then in the first half of 2020, there was COVID, right? So that accounts for what made the chart look like this at the time. Loki's going to run back over to his bed, or he might drink some water. Okay, there he goes. That's a pretty good angle on Loki. Okay. So I have helpfully updated this chart for him. Mysteriously, Tesla Charts never updated this chart again. Never fear, Tesla fans. I have taken the liberty of updating it the same scale so that you can see what's happened since. Here is what the chart looks like. So his portion of the time scale would have fit in this little box right here through the first half of 2020, right there. So I have updated the headers to 2018 through 2022. The Q1 2023 number was almost this high. I thought about including that and then thought, no, it's cleaner to just show 5 full years of actuals and then wait till the end of 2023 to update this again. But you can see not every single quarter was a revenue record, but this one was, and this one was. And this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and that one were. So most of the time, when Tesla reports earnings, they're reporting record revenues, and that's been true for the past 2.5 years. And why am I talking about that when I should be talking about the next tweet in my forecast thread? Oh, here's the other one. For anyone who doesn't believe it's the same scale, here's a version with the original screenshot dragged over the updated chart at 50% transparency. So you can see these line up, almost exactly right. Like if I got it any closer than this, you wouldn't even be able to tell that I had a 50% transparency tweet over my chart. So that wraps up that section. Next, I'm going to find my bookmarks. Where are my bookmarks? How come I don't have a bookmarks link over here anymore? Aw, man, we're going to have to find it the hard way then. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll down until I find my forecast thread. It hasn't been that long ago, since May 7th. Here it is. And then I'll scroll right up this thread until I get to where we left off, because what I'm going to show you next is a chart that's in the same format as Tesla Charts always made his charts. Now what's going on here? I'm trying to scroll and it's skipping from tweet 59 to tweet 8. I'm gonna get there, folks, if Twitter can keep up with me. I'm too fast for Twitter. That's the problem. Okay, here it is. Tweet 23. This is the only tweet I'm going to cover since I had that little sideshow diversion to show you the other Tesla chart that I updated. So another thing that TC had charted about in the past was quarterly megawatt hours deployed. We just got an update on this. So I made a fresh chart. Hot off the press today, May 7th, was the day I created this chart, showing how big a deal Tesla's 40 gigawatt hours per year Lathrop Megapack factory will be for total Tesla energy storage deployments, including Powerwall once ramped. Now, if you don't want to say Megapack factory, the friend of the show and executive producer of this program, Bradford Ferguson, at Brad S. Ferguson on Twitter, has proposed a solution, which is to just call it a Megapactory, which I will try to do. So one of those in Lathrop and another one in China is coming. So let's make this bigger. Here is the most recently reported megawatt hours deployed number. It was an all-time high. Sound familiar? The quarter before was an all-time record. The quarter before that was an all-time record, right? Over 2,000 megawatt hours or 2 gigawatt hours per quarter worth of storage production. So this is good news for Tesla. I have a lot more production in the forecast as Lathrop ramps up, and then once Tesla's China Megafactory opens, it will contribute as well. So there's a ton of growth coming, especially when you look back at historical levels of how much Tesla was able to produce and sell during years when they were cell constrained and prioritizing automotive production, right? If you've got factories that could produce a lot more product if they had more cells, what you want to do is prioritize the ones that are the most labor intensive. Guess what? That's your auto factories, right? So Tesla has to prioritize automotive production if they're cell constrained, and that means they're going to produce less Megapacks and less Powerwalls if there aren't enough cells for every factory to be able to produce as much as it can. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's what was going on back here. Tesla was cell constrained and didn't have a dedicated Megafactory like they have today. Over the last few quarters, we've seen Lathrop ramp, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that in the future. If we're not getting this kind of production out of Lathrop, then I'll take my forecast down, right? I redo my forecast usually twice per quarter, whether it needs it or not. I did skip one recently because my production and deliveries were both within 1%. Tesla beat my production and deliveries forecasts in Q1 2023 by less than 1%, so I didn't bother reforecasting and risk having my reforecast be not as close as the original forecast was. And that is my video for today. So, yeah, the same thing is going to happen with megawatt hours of storage deployed that we saw happen with revenue. That's what ties together the two topics in this video. And we'll go back to Loki's bed and see that he has curled up and bedded down to digest his breakfast that he just ate. And with that, I will say, if you've enjoyed today's video, click the like button, whether that's on Twitter or on YouTube. If you're supporting me already, thank you so much for that. If you're interested in supporting me, you think the work that I've done and am doing is worth something to you, and you feel like supporting me, there's links in the video description to how you can do that, either on Patreon or I recommend on Twitter. That's where you get the most benefits. You get the videos that I upload the day that I upload them, instead of having to wait for me to make them public, and you get subscriber exclusive tweets that way for just 69 cents per week. Is there a better deal out there? I mean, that's a penny per minute of exclusive video content when my weekly James and Loki's Gems of the Week episode is a 69-minute episode, right? And a special thank you to my two executive producers, Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com, and I'll see you in the next one.